Hello everyone, welcome to Worship Media. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell.
Hi everyone, how you guys doing? I must apologize to you. We've been trying to get this whole thing started for the past more than 30 minutes. As you can see, I've not even slept all through the whole night. It's been difficult to get the connections, but we wanted to do it a little differently today, but we're not able to do so. So just forgive us. When we get everything sorted out, we'll still bring it to you the way we wanted to bring it to you. But reports reaching us from the Federal High Court in Abuja says that right as we speak, Femi Falana is in court and with his team of lawyers, and the court is already in session right now. They have called out the cases, and Sowore's case is not the first case for the day. So that's the situation in court right now. Like I said, Femi Falana is there right now, and they're just waiting for their own turn. There's another case that is going on right now as we speak, but very soon it will be the turn of our lawyer Femi Falana. I just want to bring you guys up to date. The reason why we're in court today. The reason why we're in court today is because we are fighting the bail conditions as issued by Justice Ojukwu. We're challenging it. We're not accepting it. And so for some of you who have heard about the GoFundMe crowdfunding that we opened, it is strictly for logistics and not that we're raising the 100 million that Justice Ojukwu had demanded as bail bond for Omoyele Sowore. That's not what we're doing. All right. So our lawyer has insisted from the get-go that there was no reason why Omoyele Sowore should be asked to pay the amount of money that is being demanded of him. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, why didn't he act immediately? Well, from information that I was able to glean from our lawyers and from other legal practitioners that are my friends, I was meant to understand that every time lawyers are in court, once the judge has pronounced a judgment, the judge in that court, it doesn't matter how old that judge is, it doesn't matter his experience, it doesn't matter how old the other senior advocate in court is, even if they are 100 years older than that judge. Once the judge makes a pronouncement, you cannot counter that pronouncement. All the lawyers, those for or those against the judgment, all they have to do is they have to bow down and say, as the court pleases. They're not going to stand up and say, oh, no, we don't accept your judgment. They never do that. So that's why whatever was the judgment that the judge gave at the last appearance of Omoyele Sowore in court, whatever judgment she gave had to be accepted. So the rules of engagement, the protocol in a law court is that you have to listen to the judge, you have to accept what the judge has pronounced as judgment, then you can now go and file a counter suit, or you can file a motion or affidavit or whatever challenging that pronouncement by the judge. So that is exactly what happened. They had to wait and collect the original of that judge's pronouncement, and then use that to file a counter whatever. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Counter motion, counterpart, whatever argument against what that judge has declared, and that is where we are today. Any minute from now, I'm told that the judge will be hearing Omoyele Sowore's case. It is 10:06 in Nigeria. It is 5:06 a.m. here in Toronto, Canada. And in China, it is 5:06 p.m. And for those of you who are joining in from all of these places, we would just like to appreciate you, want to thank you. And let me especially thank all those of you who have been judiciously and fervently and consistently donating money to our GoFundMe campaign. We really appreciate you guys. It's been growing and growing and growing. I just wanted to bring you guys up to date concerning that, because it's always important that we carry everybody along, and you appreciate those guys who always keep making these donations. I'm doing this because I know a lot of you just want to know the outcome of the case. So while we're waiting, I'm just trying to keep you guys updated. So right now, we have raised $22,223 $22,223. That is what we have raised to date out of a $500,000 mark target. Okay, so if you have any questions that you want to ask, if you have anything you want to know, please go ahead and ask the question. And while we're waiting, I have a little time to answer your question. Just give me 1 second here to log in to where you're asking the questions, and I'll be able to answer them. Okay, let's see. So I will take the volume down so it does not echo. Okay, I see a question here. You said, hello Chidi, are you able to confirm where Sowore is currently being held? Is he in DSS custody, or was he moved to prison? Well, as ruled by Judge Ojukwu. I discussed coming from Tosin. Well, Sowore was not moved to the prison. He was still kept in the same place at the DSS detention center. That's where he's been. Okay, so that's the answer to that question. But you have, look, if this is a, I find it difficult to read it in this one. I wonder why it's so tiny here. Or if this is you can't. Why can't the judiciary fight for the right judgment since the judge had given order to free my president? Okay, that is Thurman Isaac. Okay, it's better from here. It's better now. So Thurman Isaac, he said, if that is so, why can't the judiciary fight for the right judgment since the judge had given order to free my president? Well, that's what the judiciary is doing. The judiciary is fighting through our lawyer, Femi Falana. That's what we're doing. Tosin says, thanks for confirming. Okay. Ogunleya Olamuyiwa. Good job, Mr. Chile. Thanks so much. You're a good friend I ever see so far. God bless you, family. Free show right now. Thank you so much, Ogunleya Olamuyiwa. We're just doing whatever we can do. The thing about Omoyele Sowore is that if he was the one, he'll probably do more than I am doing right now. That's the funny thing. I don't know where he gets the energy and the boldness and the strength to do the things that he does. But if he was the one, he would do more than what we're doing right now. So that's why we're all doing this. Is the least that we can do. Ayamugo Gozi Chigozie. It says, Dr. Chidi, what is the update of Sowore's case? The update is that as we speak right now, the case is in court. Our lawyers are in court. The judge is in court. The court is sitting as we speak right now, and we are waiting to get a feedback from them. I think after the case that they are listening to right now, they would open Sowore's file. So we're just standing by now. That is the update of the case. That's all I can tell you for now. Yes, Mohammed Suleiman Okweyemi, you are very correct. They are in court at the moment. Princess Tolani Ogundele, good morning. Good morning, my dear. How are you? So I think we should just keep praying. Just keep praying and hoping for the best. It is so difficult to know what to believe. You know, the judiciary is supposed to be the last hope of the common man, you know, to get justice. But the way they are manipulated these days, you don't even know what to expect. Okay, on one hand, you're thinking maybe these guys have already, you know, decided ahead of time what the judgment would be. So what is going to happen is just a formality. But what I know for sure is that there has been a lot of pressure. The mainstream media will not carry some stories. The mainstream media will not tell you what is going on, you know, on the ground or what they know. But there's been a lot of pressure on the government to release Sowore, even from foreign bodies, from the United Nations, from European nations, from everywhere, from the United States of America. There's been a lot of pressure. So it is no longer, the case is open, you know, to the whole world. It is trending. Everybody's attention is on Justice Ojukwu. So I'm hoping that she will seize the moment. She is right now in the eyes of the world. We are hoping that she will seize the moment to make sure that she takes a decision that will either boost her career, you know, and write her name in the sands of time, you know, etch her name in the stone of history, or she will make statements that will actually be detrimental to her to her profession, to her career. We're really hoping that she will rise up to the occasion and make the right decision. Will Sowore be president in court today? Lord, we pray for intervention. Yes, we pray for intervention. Let's hope that Lady Justice Juku will remember that the judiciary should never be a tool in the hand of the executive, but a check on the executive powers and the final arbiter of justice for the masses. Yes, Tosin, I really hope so. I hope so. I really, really hope so. Times like this are a very good opportunity for people to make their mark. I'm hoping she will seize that opportunity, because the way she performs with that case will make her name enter into the law books. There are so many cases that are used to teach people in schools, even when she was in school. And every lawyer, every judge prays to have this kind of situation, because the way they treat this is a historical case. So that your name is even mentioned in that historical case is a big deal. That's why a lot of them are lobbied. A lot of them are, I don't want to use the word lobby. It shouldn't be used for our judges. But that's why it gets very interesting how a lot of these judges get assigned or reassigned to cases. Whenever it's a historic case, every one of them wants a chance, to be part of that case. But now when they give you a chance to be part of that case, it's important what you do with that chance. Sowore has not come Sowore has not come to court yet. Guys, I've been awake the whole night, so if I start falling asleep, just bear with me. I'm going to try to keep awake. Yoruba should try and money and pay to the zoo called court. The zoo called Nigeria courts. Sowore must repent from fighting for one Nigeria. So guys, let us just keep praying and hoping for the best. As soon as I get a word from the court, I will let you know. Okay? As soon as I hear something from them, I will let you know. As you all know, we have our comrade Oshoks, who is our boot on the ground there. Okay? There's been no update yet, but he's right inside the court, and I can assure you that as soon as there's an update, I will let you know. Today is a very, very critical moment in this case, because after today, we will know how best to proceed. The man Isaac. I'm just saying that so that if you see me behaving funny, you will know. The space says that whenever Sowore or his lawyer want to appear in court, Buhari is always out of the country, including today. Well, it doesn't matter. It's just a coincidence, because he's been in the country or outside the country doesn't really play a major role in the decisions that these judges take. Well, although the last time it looked as though because he was not there, nothing could be done. I mean, as if they were waiting for him before they could do anything. Yes, just a reminder, you know, a lot of you kept asking of a Nigerian account. So finally, they opened a Nigerian account. I'm gonna post, or we'll post that account for you guys, the Nigerian account. Now, that Nigerian account, people are going to say, oh, a lot of you have asked that question. How come the account is in two people's name? Okay, so what we decided to do was to get someone from Sowore's family and another person who is actually a treasurer of the Take It Back movement. So they used their name to open that joint account. That's what we did, because opening an account in the name of the association, movement or party or whatever has a lot of legal implications. That couldn't be done. So it was based on the advice of our lawyers that we opened a joint account, again, of comprising of Sowore's family member and the treasurer for the Take It Back movement. So those are the two names you see there, Pastor Sam and Sowore's brother. Those are the two people in that account. So now, for those of you who have been wanting to be part of the donations, now you have a way that you can donate. You can just transfer money to that account, or you can go to the bank and make the donation directly. So it's up to you, whatever you decide to do now. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you need any clarification, let me know. If there's something that you don't understand, if you're wondering why I tie a bandana all the time, or I wear an orange hat or an orange beret, those kind of questions, I can also answer them. Well, I'm just trying to give you guys an update. Okay, guys, the latest update is that Sowore's bail variation application has been mentioned by the clerk, and the proceedings have commenced right now. So the proceedings have commenced, and Justice Ojukwu is now seated and the proceedings have begun. Now, Prosecution Counsel has on Lehman mentioning appearances. Is now mentioning appearances, and Femi Falana is representing Sowore and Bakri. Remember, it is Sowore and Bakri who is also known as mandates. So they have the Prosecution Counsel, Hassan Lehman, has mentioned that he is appearing on behalf of the state, it's on behalf of the government of Nigeria. And Femi Falana has also stated that he is representing Omoyele Sowore and Mr. Bakri mandate. So that's what's happening right now. I know a lot of people are just, keeping their fingers crossed. I'm sure in that courtroom there will be so much tension right now. So that's the latest. We will soon hear anything. As soon as we hear something, we'll let you know. Anyhow.
Let me hear the noise. Let me check.
Who are you to tell him what to do? Keep your money to yourself. Oh my God. So they just say that Femi Falana told Justice Ojukwu that the application for variation of bail conditions was filed on the 10th of October and the DSS has filed a counter reply. So Femi Falana filed that application for variation of bail conditions on the 10th of October, and DSS has already filed a counter. So that's where we are right now. Actually, I'm reading for you guys updates as supplied by Sahara reporters, and also collaborated by our man on the ground, Oshoks, Comrade Oshoks. So I'm just combining the two reports to be able to tell you guys what is going on. Now, the defense has said that the motion of notice is spraying the Honorable Courts for the variation of conditions of bail already granted to Sowore and Bakri. So the defense is saying that the Honorable Court said the motion of notice is praying the Honorable Court for the variation of conditions of bail already granted to Sowore and Bakare. Okay, so there, what Falana, who is the defense, is saying that they are asking the court to apply a variation of condition of bail already granted to Sowore and Bakare. In support of the application is an affidavit of 24 paragraphs deposed by Akin Sowore, brother of Sowore. It contained a written address. So it says, in support of the application is an affidavit of 24 paragraphs deposed to by Akin Sowore, the brother, Showore's brother, and it contained a written address. That is the point where we are right now. That's the latest. As at 5:30 a.m. here in Toronto, which is 10:30 a.m. in Abuja. That's the latest. So the lawyers for the defense counsel and the prosecution counsel, they are now slugging it out back and forth. I hope you guys know that you are not allowed to transmit live audio or live video in a courthouse. What is happening now is the most that you can do, and it's even because of advancement in technology. So I'm still waiting for updates. I don't expect that this hearing will take long. I don't expect that it will take long. We are praying and looking forward to a very favorable pronouncement from the judge. From our comrade Oshokes, who is right there in court, it says that Falana is taking the court back to the bail of Taiwo. You know, this is one point that we have consistently made. That's one question people have continued to ask, that how come a court granted bail to Omoyele Sowore, a judge granted him bail and says, okay, you know what, since these people have held you for 45 days and they couldn't come up with anything, I am going to let you go, because they didn't ask for extension, they just didn't do anything. And he granted them bail. He granted Sowore bail. Another DSS refused to obey that bail. Another judge now came, a judge that is from the same judiciary, a case that your colleague already gave judgment. Another judge came, this is Justice Ojukwu, and said now that, okay, let me hear the case again. You listen to the case the same way Taiwo listened to the case, and you concluded that Sowore should still be given bail. So you agreed with Taiwo. The first question we're asking is, why would you even agree to listen to the case when somebody, your colleague, has already tried the case and given judgment on the case? You're not even like they're going to appeal or Supreme Court. The same parallel judge. You listen to the same case. You arrive at the same answer, but you now add money on top of it. And when money is added on top of it, that's when DSS now takes that one serious. So that is what people are saying. They're saying that he's reading Taiwo's judgment, and that has not set aside the judgment. All right. There's lots of updates now. Falana cited AU versus State, which asked the government to deposit money on the presumption of innocence, which is unjustifiable. Falana said the DSS gave the impression that Justice Taiwo did not grant Sowore bail, misleading the court. He added that the order of Justice Taiwo has not been set aside, arguing that the DSS disobeyed the order of the court without explanation. You see, it becomes ridiculous when everybody, novices like me and you, are thinking the same thing. We are all on the same page. And it's only our learned friends that are complicating the matter. Because exactly what I was just describing to you is what Barrister Femi Falana, SAN, is asking the judge. Very simple question. Why are you saying that Taiwo did not grant this young man bail? You know, he granted this young man bail. Now, the bail that he granted this young man, you have not even set it aside. Because if you're going to set it aside, you will give us reasons. So nobody has even said anything about that judgment. You have to say something about that judgment. You have to tell us why you are not honoring that judgment. If you're not doing so, then we know that DSS is just being arrogant and just flouting the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria by holding Sowore. So that's where we are now. That's the latest updates. Now, on restricting Sowore from Abuja. Oh, I missed this one again. Speaking further, Falana pointed out that Sowore has no place of abode in Nigeria because he lives in USA and stays in Lagos whenever he is in the country. He said the only opposition the complainant can raise is that the applicant has a house in Abuja, but the DSS cannot provide that proof. He said the only opposition the complainant can raise is that the applicant has a house in Abuja, but the DSS cannot provide that proof. I doubt that Sowore has a house in Abuja, if it is the Sowore that I know. So, but I guess what Falana is saying is that the only condition, the only grounds upon which you guys can say that Omoyele Sowore should stay in Abuja and be reporting to you is if you can prove that he owns a house in Abuja. But if you cannot prove it, then I don't see why you should tell him that he cannot leave Abuja. So the only place that he has a house, to the best of our knowledge, is in Lagos. That's the only place he has a house. So according to the defense lawyer, bail conditions must not infringe on the rights of a person. This honorable court granted bail 17 days ago, and all efforts to meet the bail condition has failed because of the stringency of the conditions, said Falana. Falana presented a reply to the DSS counter to Justice Ojukwu. On the rights of a person. Says that anybody, he was citing Ibori versus Federal Republic of Nigeria, says that anybody on bail must be entitled to his passport. I said, Falana said granting the applicant bail and confiscating his passport is like granting him bail and taking it with another hand, according to the Court of Appeal. So if you say you're granting somebody bail and you restrict him and you take his passport and all those things, it's just like you didn't grant him any bail. That's what Falana is saying. They also say that banning Sowore from not granting press interview. On that, Falana quoted the case of Buhari that he represented. In the case judgment, he says no Nigerian who is on bail can leave his rights trampled by the same courts, can have his rights trampled by the same court. That the court granted bail 17 days ago. Okay. I post that the prosecution counsel only but Friday responded to the bail variation application. Okay. Good. Falana said that if Sowore jumps bail, the law will deal with him and his surety and not for his passport taken from him. He says Sowore is a lecturer and a journalist. That is, he has to earn a living while the case goes on. He asked the judge to be guided by her ruling on Jones Abin, where the same court reviewed and varied the bail condition. So what he's telling the judge is, hey, listen, remember that Sowore has a family. Remember that if Sowore is granted bail, he's a journalist and he's a lecturer. He has to go to work. He has to earn a living. So I don't know if you guys are factoring that in, because Remember, you have not proven that he committed an offense. So you cannot gag him up and begin to treat him like a criminal while you're still trying to determine whether he is a criminal, because you just charged him with some criminal offenses, and you are now in a court trying to prove that what you said is correct. Now, nobody knows how long the case will last. The case could last for months, even years. Now, while the case is still going on, will you now subject that person to a treatment that is only reserved for criminals? That's for somebody who has been found guilty. No, you can't do that, because the person is innocent until proven guilty. Therefore, you have to allow him to be able to go around and earn a living. That's what our lawyer is saying. And it's also reminding the judge, now I think it's massaging the judge's ego, saying, Madam, remember that just a few days ago, somebody that was fined the same amount as you fined Omoyele Sowore was just released to go free and only brought a shorty on his behalf. So I just want to remind you that we know that this kind of thing is possible because you did it just a few days ago. That's what they're telling the judge. He said that granting Abin bail, and that Abin's case is even more grievous than Sowore's case. He said Kanu was granted bail and was coming to court until the army went, because they always use Kanu as an example. They always say, oh, but Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail. Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail. So Falana just reminded them that Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail. That Nnamdi Kanu, he says, the same court reviewed and varied the bail condition. So granting it says we have an honorable member who is in Abuja, but DSS said no, that Sowore would jump bail. He said Kanu was granted bail and he was coming. Yes. Falana is telling them that Kanu was coming to court until the army went to shoot at his house and he ran away for his life. That is what happened to Kanu. Kanu never jumped bail. That's what he's trying to remind them, that he was coming for his case. He was reporting. He was meeting every condition that they gave him until the day they went to shoot at his house. And that was when he escaped. They came to actually kill him. And as we heard in his broadcast yesterday, they ended up, his mother died recently. And he said, he was not clear about, he was not detailed, he didn't say it explicitly, but he seemed to infer that part of why his mother died is as a result of the incident that happened in his house. There was the Nigerian army and the Operation Python dance when they came to shoot down everything in his house. When they came to shoot down his house and his parents were there. He's trying to say that she died as a result of injuries sustained in that raid. Falana also said that Kanu, that DSS should stop using Kanu as an excuse, and more so, both were not charged together. these are independent cases. I don't know why they're behaving like children. So Falana submitted by saying to the judge, "My lady, let my people go." That's how Falana just ended his case. He says, "My lady, let my people go. I beg." Now the affidavit which was submitted to the judge showed that Sowore teaches at the School of Visual Arts attached to the Columbia University and is also a journalist of international repute. Okay, I already told you this one. I already told you that Falana cited Joan Sabiri versus DSS. I also told you that Falana asked the judge to be guided by the review of Jones Abiri's case. Okay. Falana had already asked the court to dismiss the counter affidavit that the DSS had filed. He told them that Sowore had children and should be granted bail on lenient terms. Now, Falana also said that Falana presented an affidavit deposed to by Marsha Abubakar confirming that Akin visited Sowore. He prayed the judge to vary the bail conditions as requested by law. He said that the claim by DSS that Akin Sowore did not visit Sowore is false and that the DSS has no proof. Falana also said Abubakar Marshall, a lawyer in his chamber, visited Omoyele Sowore with Akin Sowore in the DSS custody. I don't know what is this thing about Akin Sowore visiting Sowore there. That's Showore's brother. I don't know what they're trying to prove with that. Maybe DSS is saying, oh, he doesn't have family. There's nobody who is telling him what's going on. I don't know why, but Falana has insisted that he was visited. I mean, those people have been taking food to him. I know that at the time they allowed only 2 people to take food to him, 2 of our people. So why are they now contesting that he went there or he didn't go there? Isn't that being very funny? Like I said, I don't know what they're trying to prove with that. So now I don't know what is happening in the courtroom right now, but that's how far the update has gone. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Like I said, I'm just piecing all of these things together. But my two main sources, I need to recognize them, is Comrade Oshokes, who is the National Organizing Secretary for the Take It Back movement and the African Action Congress, and also from our colleagues, Sahara Reporters. Those are the two sources of my report now, and those can be trusted, and they are giving us live live reports. Remember that the last thing Falana said as he closed his submission was, "My lady, let my people go." Now, they said the case was interrupted as a result of the previous case that was stood down. Now, he adopted the submission and written addresses in respect of Sowore. Sowore's case will proceed as soon as the other case is adjourned. So there was a case that they had to stand down, to be able to continue Sowore's case. So that case now, they're going through the motion to be able to adjourn that case and then continue with Omoyele Sowore's case. So right now, that's what's happening in court. Okay, so the prosecuting counsel is standing up right now, and they're going to start talking. Okay, so as soon as right now the prosecuting counsel is addressing the court, as soon as he is done, we will let you know what he said. Don't on the light, please. It's really hot in my eyes.
This one. This one.
Just a little light would be good. It's okay like that, please.
It's okay.
Okay, so the prosecuting counsel says that they are opposing the application by Barrister Falana Chambers with a written address, 22 page affidavit that they filed to counter the application by our lawyer Femi Falana. The prosecution counsel says that our application has no valid affidavit with it. That is his stand. He says our application has no valid affidavit with it. So we will now await, well, he might say some other things, but we will now await what he has to say. It says that the facts contained in our affidavit are derived from the info gotten from Sowore. It says that the facts contained in our affidavit are derived from the information gotten from Sowore. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's where the issue about someone visiting Sowore begins to come in, but we shall see. Now, the man is insisting that the despondent Akin Sowore was never at the facility of the DSS. He referred to paragraphs 10 and 11 of the DSS counter affidavit. I wonder why they will be saying he was there, he was not there. If he was there, he was there. If he was not there, he was not there. I guess they should just play their camera. I hope someone will say, let's play the camera back. He says that Akin Sowore, that Akin Sowore is to stand as surety, who is to stand as surety, was never at the DSS facility. He just lies because Akin was really at their facility on the 8th of October. No. Akin, these DSS people, I hope based on this, their case will be thrown away. The account, because he's claiming that Akin was not there to see Sowore, but Oshoks is just saying that is lying because Akin was there on the 8th of October. Remember that Oshoks is also in Abuja, and Oshoks knows everything that happens inside that place. So Oshoks is very sure that Akin visited Sowore on the 8th of October. But this lawyer is saying that he did not visit. So what they should just do is just play back the camera. That's the kind of thing I would like to see. That the whole DSS cannot even say, for sure that somebody was in their facility or not. That's a terrible security lapse there. DSS is saying that somebody came or they did not come. All they should just do is run whatever of that day. If I was Falana, I'll just insist. And then let them say, we don't have camera. Then people will now be like, we don't have camera and you're keeping important people in that place. So what if somebody comes there and harms that person? You won't even know. Don't you know that you're holding a high-profile person? You're a high-profile prisoner. That's what it should be from your side. Since you're treating him like a criminal, he's supposed to be a high-profile person, but you don't even have the adequate security to make sure that his life is even protected from some wannabes who would want to impress Oga and come and attack him. Now, the guy says that he wants Barrister Marshall to prove to the court that they were there on the said day. Let him, I wish he would, let him ask them to bring their camera. He's going to get to that. He submitted, so he finally submits that the judge should dismiss the application as there is no valid affidavit to back it up. So that's just what he's saying, that there's no valid. So if they can prove that there's a valid affidavit, then that is it. The court should now listen to Femi Falana and grant his wishes. I think they've tied them, they've boxed themselves to a corner now. Now he stresses that the affidavit has not given serious reason why the application be verified from Sowore. Why the application be verified apart from Sowore being a lecturer in the US. It is not even proven that Sowore is a lecturer in the US. These people are the most stupid human beings. Look, I know the problem. The problem is that things no longer work in Nigeria. So people are shocked when you're talking about a system that is working, or when you're telling them that, you know, things are like, it sounds very abstract. If someone says, I live in number 25 down street, that's where I live, that's my residence. Someone like this DSS man will say, you want to tell me that if I go to number 10 now, see your house, you're not using it to just deceive me. You know, you people that, how can somebody just give you their address just like that? I beg you, no mind all these abroad people. But it is true. Why? Because he doesn't have to hide it. It is there in the yellow pages. If you go and look his name, you see that his name is there. That his address is tied to his driver's license. Is tied to. Sowore cannot just come and give you something for. Let me tell you another reason. Sowore has been lambasting all corrupt people. He's been exposing them. He's been tapping their conversation. He's been planting all kind. He does investigative journalism. So he has followed these people. He has investigated them. He knows they are after him, and all those people are smelling everywhere. If he walks past a place, they'll bring dogs and with a magnifying glass to be checking him to see if they can find something to bring him down. So he cannot come and claim what he is not. That shows that these people are disconnected from what is happening in Nigeria, because all through his campaign, he talked about being a lecturer abroad, and now a lawyer who went to school and passed his law school is saying, how even sure that he's a lecturer? Did you check? Why don't you call them? Why don't you call the university and ask them and say that you have proven? Say, do we even know if he's a lawyer? See, just like that one that they were interviewing on BBC and was just talking trash. Anyway, that's your Minister of Justice. But let's go ahead. It's something that the judge should dismiss the application affidavit. It is not even proven. He said, assuming there is a valid affidavit, that the judge should note that all cases quoted by Falana has no relationship with that of Sowore. So I think this guy is not even sounding. He's not sounding very sound. That's my postulation. My postulation in this jurisdiction of this submission is that the aforementioned legal representative hereafter and thereafter known as and referred to as herewith called the defense, no, not defense, the prosecuting lawyer sounds like he is not sound. Anyway, it says that Ibori was granted bail to meet the condition. It was when he needed the passport to travel, then he appealed. Okay, so Sowore needs his passport to go and meet the bail now. So please, Sowore needs the passport to go and bring money from that his account that you people know. So people know his account, know everything about him. Okay. So what he's trying to do is countering every of Femi Falana's points of objection to the bail condition. He's trying to counter them and destroy them one after the other. That's what law is all about. The prosecution also says that Ibori met the conditions first. On addressing the public, he says, if your freedom of expression will hamper on national security, the court has the right to withhold such. So it is by holding Sowore walking the streets is what is causing potholes on the roads. It is when Sowore is free that schools, he's disturbing all the workers who are trying to repair all the leaking roofs in all the schools. When Sowore is there, he goes and he blocks ambulance from walking. When ambulance is walking, Sowore will just go and disturb them. That's why there's no ambulance. Do you know that it was because Sowore is walking free that the fire servicemen could not even go and quench fire? Because Sowore was free, that's why universities are all dilapidated. That's why people are dying. That's why military men fighting Boko Haram don't have ammunition, because Sowore used to go and block it. So actually, he's right. When they leave Sowore will just obstruct the free flow of government. So that's why they should hold him. Yeah, people. Now, okay. So that's what his argument is. He's trying to say that if they leave Sowore, but we know you guys are afraid. Even without saying it, we know you are afraid that that's really why you're holding Sowore. You are afraid of him, not that he committed any offense. You're just afraid of what he's capable of causing for you guys. So now the truth is coming out. Have you noticed that all this while, anyway, the case hasn't actually started, but I wanted to say that nobody's talking about how dangerous Sowore is anymore before they arrested him. Nobody's talking about what he did. It's now what he would do. So for your future offense, it's like your father or your mother flogging you because they know that you're going to commit that offense. Come here, turn your back. The way I'm looking at you, you're going to do something in the future. Let me flog you now. That's what they're doing to Sowore. That's what they are even telling him now. That, hold this man, no. If we leave him, the thing that he will cause will be disastrous. So therefore, we have a right to determine that he will do that thing. So you have to let us do it. But is that the Constitution? Is it about what you think or what is justified? We're talking about what is justified. Not, you can think anything you like. We don't care. We are talking about what is just. So, it says, please, I'm just coming. The Sowore eventually appear in court today. Sowore is not in court right now. He's not in court. But we're just, we have people that are in court and they are, informing us of what is happening, and we're following them, and that's what's happening. It says, Fundraising said that Sowore only called for a revolution against bad governance. But the prosecution had said that the right of a nation precedes that of individual in matters of national security. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In matters of national security, Sowore is the biggest problem. Did you know that it's when Sowore was granted bail that the glass house in Aso Rock was taken by Aisha Buhari, and then Aisha Buhari and Mama Daura's daughter started struggling with it because Sowore was the problem. So if they imagine if they release Sowore now, there'll be more problem in Aso Rock. So you see why they should not release Sowore. It's Sowore that's causing all of this problem. That answer that Buhari was going to answer to that woman in United Nations, it was Sowore that stole the paper that the right expo that they gave to Buhari to read. So when he came to read it, he looked for it, didn't see it. So that's why Buhari answered that question the way he answered. Sowore is causing is the problem that we have. Do you know that was because of Sowore that government wanted to pay 30,000 and deceive the workers? And after election, they now told them that they don't have money to pay them. It's Sowore. It's him. So that's why they don't want to release him. See all the problems. See now, don't you see what happened? Immediately they locked Sowore up. See, go and see Enugu Onisha Road. Just like you can sleep on that road. Go and see the Niger Bridge. They have already finished the Niger Bridge. Immediately they just locked Sowore up. Nigeria bought a new plane. Did you see our national? We bought some planes. Nigeria bought some. Immediately they just captured Sowore. Everything started working. Pam, 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 pam. Immediately Sowore has a problem. Now, finally, on the issue that it was granted bail by Justice Taiwo, the prosecution said the case at that time was if Sowore could continue to stay in detention and the 45 days had expired. But at least you need to let him go. However, Lehman says Sowore's shout of revolution in court was an indication he wanted to bring down the nation's government. Oh my God, though. Oh my God. You see, the prosecution said that their biggest point, the biggest ammunition that they have against Sowore was that when he was in court, when he turned, he just shouted, "Revolution now! Revolution now!" He said immediately he shouted that revolution now, the whole of Nigeria started shaking. Aso Rock, they called and said, "What is happening?" Aso Rock is shaking. They say, "Is that boy you? He was shouting revolution now." They say, "No, lock him up. Don't let him that." So that is the biggest crime that Sowore committed. He said they would have let him go. But when they shouted that revolution now, him and Mandate, that thing caused earthquake. So that's why they had to lock him up. You see how this lawyer is very seasoned and intelligent. See how his English, his defense, his line of argument is very sound. The guy is sounding like Aristotle or all this Pluto. See, he's sounding like Julius Caesar or Macbeth. See his present. You see all these words. This is when Sowore turned in that DSS in that courtroom the other day, as he was about to disembark and approach the other side of the facility, he turned around, he lifted his voice, and he shouted, "Revolution!" And people echoed now. And he shouted, "Revolution now! Revolution now!" That revolution now started an earthquake. That is why salaries of workers have not been paid up till now. Because of that revolution now. That's why federal government is borrowing extra money from World Bank. Because of that revolution now. That is why there is flood all over Lagos. People are swallowing and dying because of revolution now. That is the greatest offense that he committed. Okay. He asked that the court grant the variation. Okay. Finally, on the issue that he was granted bail by Justice Taiwote. Okay. He does ask the court not to grant the variation asked by Sowore, and that the court should dismiss the application. He said Sowore is indeed a teacher.
No, before that.
Okay, before that, is it okay? And the court should dismiss the application. So it's Falana now that is saying. No, I didn't. I'm not seeing it here. Finally. Okay. He said Sowore indeed teacher in the US and also wants to visit his family. Falana asked the prosecution to apologize for misleading the court. He says the prosecution should apologize for misleading the court. This prosecution, they are just like all these people who they don't go and read. They don't read anything. They don't just say, "That Sowore, don't mind that guy, oh. Did he say he's living in New York? That guy is not living in New York anything, no." He said Lehman objected. No, Falana should insist that he should apologize to the court. Falana submitted that Lehman could not justify the disobedience of court order under any disguise. He noted that nothing in the counter affidavit talked about national security. He says Section 45 of the Constitution deals with national security, public order, and defense. Even then, the court decides what is national security. It has to be decided in court. You don't just get up and look at Sowore and say, "That guy is national security." The way I look that guy fit. See, Oga, you're national. You know, like policemen, they look at you and say, "The way where they look you, be like you get criminal. In fact, you get criminal intention, arrest him." You're thinking criminal mind. You're thinking criminal mind. That's what police people tell you. They'll tell you you're selling bad markets or you're cooking bad hotel. Okay. It says Section 45 of the Constitution deals with national security, public order, and defense. Even then, the court decides what's the national security. Falana reiterated that Buhari talked about revolution and nobody challenged him. Yes. You see why that's this people's case. Why you see me, being comical sometimes is that some of the things you hear them say and some of their defense sounds very ridiculous for such a case as serious as this. For something that DSS considers a huge breach of national security or whatever, this is how their lawyer is arguing his case. Anyway, I'm not saying you should argue better because you should lose the case. So please continue. Lehman, the way you're doing it, continue, sir. We support you. In fact, do more Ulodo defense. Falana reiterated that Buhari talked about revolution and nobody challenged him. Do you know the funny thing? The funny thing is that in the past, when Buhari had issues with past administrations, he himself ran to Falana. Can I give you this secret? Falana defended Buhari. This Buhari you're seeing defended him when he was accused of saying some inciting things. So he asked Falana to defend him, and Falana defended him successfully and won the case. But now they turned the whole thing around. The same revolution you said. Now this man says it. You said the revolution has changed. What happened was, when I said it, they didn't have the same meaning. But since that time, they have changed the meaning. Don't you know they used to change English? You think is that it was is then. Is not is that it was. Now is a different was now. So revolution that time was revolution. Now it's revolution. That time it was revolution, but now it's revolution. There's a difference between revolution and revolution. The other one is revolution, but this one is revolution. So the one that Sowore committed is revolution. The one that I was talking about is revolution. Just check it. There's a difference. So that's where we are kind of now. Where Falana said that Buhari talked about revolution and nobody did him anything. But now that it's like that man in the Bible that they forgave his sins, and he went and caught that guy that's owing him and got the guy and killed him, or something like that. Akin Sowore, who is the shorty, does not need a swear-in affidavit because the lawyer went with him to the DSS facility. Marshal Abubakar has done so already. The judge is writing now as all counsel are done with arguments. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is that point that we're waiting for. The judge is writing down something, and then the judge might go for a recess, and then let us know what her judgment is, or she might just say something there. Falana reiterated he adopted his reply brief for the second respondent. So the judge is writing down on the judge is writing now as all counsel are done with their arguments. So they've all closed their arguments and we are now waiting for the judgment. Sorry about that. It was my alarm clock, and I told you I have not slept, so it just started ringing. So the judge is writing something and we are just waiting. I told you this was going to be a brief one. Justice Ojukwu is about to rule on Sowore's bail variation application. Justice Ijeoma of Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has begun writing her ruling in the case involving Omoyele Sowore and the DSS. Details soon. So that's the breaking news, guys. We're just waiting any second from now she is going to read her ruling. It's going to be one or two of three things. It's going to be one of two things or one of three things. She's either going to say that Sowore should be released on bail with just providing a surety and be allowed to move freely anywhere he wants to within Nigeria and be given his passport. This is what we would like to hear. But then again, she might also say that no, Sowore should still pay some money. So that's what we're waiting for. It's a very tense moment now. It's a very tense moment. We are waiting for this notification. Yeah, or the judge might say, no, they refused all the argument, they refused the application, and she still stands by her former decision. Those are the things that we're waiting to hear what will happen. We pray seriously that it will be the very first option where they allow him to take possession of his international passport and be granted bail and the ability to travel around Nigeria, and actually I'm hoping he'll be able to travel outside Nigeria to get treatment for his shoulders. Remember, they actually dislocated his shoulders when they were arresting him. So that is what we will all love to hear, that the judge has pronounced. That is our heart's desires. That's what we are hoping will happen. But everybody's all tensed up. I have my tummy is just churning, you know. We're just waiting, because this moment is a very, very important moment in our struggle. It's heart in hand. Okay, somebody said heart in hand. Yeah, we're all just tensed up, waiting for what the judge would say. I wonder what the judge is writing. It's an important deciding moment in history, because whatever is the ruling, it has a lot of implications. Whichever way it goes, it has a lot of implications, long-lasting implications. Whatever she says is going to affect so many things, That's why it is a very important moment in the history of Nigeria. It is a very important moment in the life of everybody who is a Nigerian. This decision, trust me, it will affect everybody in one way or the other. You know, some people always say, no, this thing doesn't affect me, it doesn't concern me. It's not true. Anytime there is injustice, it has a snowball effect. I'm telling you, anywhere you see injustice, you must fight it. You must oppose it, because injustice to one is injustice to all. Because you never know when it's going to be your turn. Once they do it with one person and they get away with it, then they become emboldened and they do it to another person and they do it to another person. So that's why you really have to resist it anytime you see injustice. Yeah. Still waiting on the judge. I'm still waiting on the judge. Unplug this thing. I'm just trying to put yeah. Okay. Just please, free Sowore. Yeah, so just it's Ejiomojuku, please, free Sowore. 1 second. Okay, I'm back, and we've not heard anything yet. The justice is still writing, so we didn't miss anything. Let me look for something to play. Yes, freedom comes by struggle, by struggle.
My time is so big. Free Sowore now. Revolution now. What is free Sowore? 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 Green, white, green. Stand up for your right. Green, white, green. Don't give up the fight.
Yeah.
White, green. Everything will be alright. Green, white, green. Cry, no. They say indeed all the criminals. Nigerians, why we so sentimental? Outside Yoruba get criminals. Go Saudi Arabia, make you see rubber. Still on the matter with the FBI. Looking at the tribe balance on the propaganda. Nigerians making us proud in America. We got doctors, lawyers, and engineers. I put them as some Nigerian leaders. When they negotiate with some terrorists. As government don't negotiate with terrorists. It's time to free my brother Sowore. Free Sowore. Free Sowore. Wadi, 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 free Sowore. Green, white, green. Stand up for your right. Green, white, green. Don't give up the fight. Green, white, green. Everything will be alright. Green, white, green. Cry, no. It's time to say no to xenophobia. Nigerians are dying in South Africa. Read your history and learn about the appetite. And we say we boycott South Africa. And our government, they treat us like criminals. Tell me why South Africans will respect Nigerians. All those celebrities, when they talk anything, and when they make money for this country. Make una remember the treatment of Ekoremadu. As soon as they always travel go overseas. As the government don't negotiate with terrorists. It's time to free my brother Sowore. Free Sowore. Wadi, 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 free Sowore. Green, white, green. Stand up for your right. Green, white, green. Don't give up the fight. Green, white, green. Everything will be alright. Green, white, green. Cry, no. Sowore, 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 Sowore. I want to thank all the activists that came out to show love. You're not cowards. You're real people. Baba Neke Mamiako, thank you so much. And decide your future for you and your we don't go free again. For the money powers, they no go rule again. But take Nigeria, they know they come again. Make us slavery motion, we don't go free again. I said package is Nigeria, Baba, we good result. Nigeria people good and then they push us to the wall. Security, oh your hospitality, oh your freedom. hospitality, for humanity, opportunity, stability, doctrine and family made that slavery was to do. Make people know that nine neighbors they do yahoo. Sound education is people not be produced. Beautiful garden animals turn out to do. Not democracy, we are not crazy. I've been waiting for Captain Idoko. We are not stupid. All these things we they produce. Generator they know they use. Even like we know they get things. At the end we pay the light bill. Bring him back, Omoyele Sowore. Bring him back, Omoyele Sowore. For security, electricity, for humanity, technology, bring him back, Omoyele Sowore. I say bring him back, Omoyele Sowore. Hospitality, for humanity, opportunity, bring him back, Omoyele Sowore. Bring him back, Omoyele Sowore. For security, electricity, for humanity, technology, bring him back, Omoyele Sowore. I say bring him back, Omoyele Sowore. Hospitality, for humanity, opportunity,
Free Sowore. Oh yeah, free him. Free him. Oh yeah, free him. Respect to Baba Fela Nikila Kwakuti. Abi Fela Pikin. It's the man baby. Agent God. Mary. Free Sowore.
Hey, Mr. Babylon, I'm here to talk to you. Can't slide with you, brother, these are no more. And these are time to have a move and make a move this year. I want to take a rally, I make a change, I need revolution change. They can't slave us. These are time, let's stand the fight. We got no reason to stand the bar. Stand up, Payana. Stand up, rise up. A revolution, freedom man is a Rasta man, a righteous man, so let us stand the fight. Stand up, Payana. Stand up, rise up. Free Sowore, a Rasta man, and a freedom jail, but never be a slave. It's been a long time I've been in this jail, and this time what the tie upon the chain, and that is why we resist the chain, and then we say no, we say no to the poverty, say no to the children in the street, say no, we say no to the darkness, say no police brutality, say no, we say no to the dirty politicians, say bad government, say no, we say no to corruption, say no, that's when the children that rise up say no, and the youth and the fathers say no, I want the multi-revolution. This is time, let's stand the fight, we got no reason to stand the bar. Stand up, Payana, stand up, rise up. A revolution, freedom man is a Rasta man, a righteous man, so let us stand the fight. Stand up, Payana, stand up, rise up. Free Sowore.
Only road to our deliverance from 60 years of the PDP locust. Nigeria is ours to give, and its democracy is ours to save. Why don't we know what?
So we're gonna do this song with all the way. The way. Something like Jabba Chantis. Don't know why I like this one. I'm dusting off my mind. I'm dancing my mind. Yeah. I gotta be the voice of the youth. Yeah. They're looking me off, so I gotta use the proof. Don't believe, I guess I gotta be the proof. And if you're looking for some freedom, then you gotta know the truth. See, the story is the same old. You want change, but you won't vote. Complaining is a no-no. Now who will represent you? When they enter that office, they will get what they paid for. Now double wahala. Now double wahala for everybody. Now which way Nigeria? Someone to the leaders to chop our money. They arrest the protest and protect this honorable senators. Who really need to be the hunter? Too many days for the thief, one day for the owner. Hey, they go do like the Nazis, they know they food and no they go do like the Nazis, they know people just they go do like the Nazis, people they suffer, people they suffer, see and I say one thing,
No more lights.
make it the bus like this,
A little bit more
make
lights.
it the bus like this, so make it the bus like this, so and I pray one day, make it the bus like this.
Oh, the ring light.
To make it the bus like this, to make it the bus like this,
So I am going to show you in the next 2 minutes how you can.
They say FBI don't report them. I see them for Insta. I read them for Twitter. I want travel out. They deny my visa. And if I manage get, my problem be bigger. Because everywhere I go, they point the finger. That's the email sender, credit card swindler. Stay away from that fraudulent nigga. I'm like, you probably seen a lot. That's the lot of shit I get. I'm trying not to get triggered. Then they say, no be your country get the Boko Haram. Not be your senator, we was madam for sex shop. But it's still they debate laws for the legislature. How you keep leaving these animals on the job? Now you be poverty capital of the world. And instead make you find solution, you be the same person when they call for revolution. Don't be madness. What you talk about? They go do like the Nazis say, what you talk about? They go do like the Nazis say, I know you understand that. They go do like the Nazis say, people they suffer. This now.
Shore's family misses him. Free Sowore now.
Free Sowore. Free Sowore. Free Sowore. Free Sowore. How can you lock a man up who's fighting for his people? Free Sowore. 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 You got to free Sowore. How can you lock a man up who's fighting for his people? Free Sowore. Free Sowore. Free Sowore. You got to free Sowore. Gang him up, shut him up, lock him up behind the bars. You think he will go away? Gang him up, shut him up, lock him up behind the bars. You think he will go away? Shaky na him will start Boko Haram. Shaky na him taking the people for express. Sowore say he love to stop anything. When we say the time don't reach you not anywhere. Revolution now. Free Sowore. Free Sowore. Free Sowore. Free Sowore. Free Sowore. Free Sowore.
Free Sowore. Free Sowore. Free Sowore. Free Sowore. Got to free Sowore. How can you lock a man up who's fighting for his people? Free Sowore. Free Sowore. Free Sowore. You got to free Sowore. Every day no light, every day no water, every day no food for we country. Every day no light, every day no water, every day no. Okay, guys. So we've just been informed that Justice Ojukwu is back. She's back on the seat, and any moment from now, she will begin to read the judgment. We just heard that she is back. That's what they just text those guys who are right there live in the courthouse, in the courtroom. They just said that she is back. So I guess she will start to read her submission, her judgment, actually, any minute from now. So she is reading her ruling now. She says that on Taiwo, that it has no relationship with this instant case. She says that Taiwo's case has no relationship with the case that she is attending to. The case before her has no relationship with Taiwo's case. That's the first thing that she said. Oh man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on a very sad news. The court has denied Sowore's bail variation application. They have denied Sowore's bail variation application. That's the latest that we have right now. It's not a good news, but that is what we're hearing now. That's what the judge has said. But what she has done is that she has reduced the bail amount to 50 million for Omoyele Sowore and 20 million for mandate, and other conditions remain the same. So that's where we are now. She denied the application, but she just reduced the fine from 100 million to 50 million, and for mandate from 50 million to 20 million. So that means 70 million is what they are demanding now from 150 million. And when she says that every other condition remains, very annoying. Very annoying. So when she says every other condition remains the same, that means Sowore will not be allowed to move out of Abuja, and he will not have access to his international passport, and every other condition, every other thing else that is in that condition is what they are saying remains constant. It is not a good one at all. But it does not stop us. It only increases our resolve to keep doing what we're doing. Remember, we never anticipated anything good to come out of these people. We only hope for the best, but they have never impressed us. They've never given us any reason to think that, they're just going to change overnight. Yeah, because there are so many powerful people that are behind all of these things. And unfortunately, they have proven themselves once more. Can you imagine? So Justice Ojukwu said she found it difficult to believe a man of Sowore's pedigree does not have anyone to deposit 50 million naira. That is, you see, that's the part that's annoying to me. So this is about taking money from him. Can you imagine? These people are, so you think it's about the money, you think it's about 50 million or 100 million. So that's why are you, are they thieves? Did you hear that they stole money? Do you hear that he has corrupt friends, corrupt people as friends? No, he does not. He doesn't have corrupt people as friends. The kind of friends that he has are friends who work hard for their money and who don't keep their money in one mighty bank somewhere. She should be ashamed of herself. She shouldn't be talking, she should just keep quiet. You have done your worst, so why are you not talking like this? Can you imagine? I can't believe that somebody of Sowore's pedigree cannot come up with 50 million. So that's what you're looking for. You're just looking for the money. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'll just have to stop here, and I'll keep you guys updated much later. Once more, the judge denied the bail, the application to review the bail, and only reduced the amount from 100 million to 50 million for Omoyele Sowore, and from 50 million to 20 million for mandate. I don't know what is going to happen next, but I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you so much for staying on, doing the broadcast. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.